This is about unpublished poetry. Um, what I was about to do about 5 minutes ago was I was gonna. I had these like 40 poems I wrote over like I guess the past year, and I was gonna record all 40 poems as spoken words and then publish them on YouTube over the next year and a half. To schedule them to be posted, and I was gonna record all 40 now, but the thing is, I'm not gonna do that because I don't have the confidence to record say 40 poems and record them. They're very personal, and I I've been posting poetry that I wrote before. I don't know if I want to keep doing that. I think I'd rather do vlogs than post more poetry on here. The poetry I have posted over the next year, or yeah, over the next 9 months, it might be the last poetry I post on here because it's a little overly dramatic. I mean, some of it's very nihilist, some of it's very, you know, fantasies of romance and or fantasies of whatever. Um, and I I don't want to publish any of that. I don't want to record any of that stuff. I don't want to publish any of that stuff. It's very like looking at the titles. It sounds dumb. I think I've done this a few times. Like I was gonna get ready to record all those poems, and I was like, no, I'm not recording those because I just I don't think there's a huge market for poetry per se. There is some market, sure. I just don't. I think I'd rather do vlogs to be honest because I think I'm gonna keep writing poetry. I'm not going to publish it though. Maybe I'll share some lines on Twitter or something, but it's it's hard to explain how I feel about it. Um, it would be like overly dramatic if I recorded them because they were like some of the most emotional parts of my life when I wrote them. They were, you know, very dense. And I don't know if I want to rhyme for 2 hours to record them all. Um, I was gonna do that today, but I think I don't have the heart. I don't have the stomach. I don't have anything to record all that stuff. I was gonna do it because I was lonely. I was gonna record those spoken word poems because I was lonely and I don't have any other. And I'm bored. I don't have anything else to do with my time. But I think that I'd rather do something else. So there's gonna be a lot of empty space in this vlog where I think, but or maybe I'll cut it short. But I know if you post more content, your channel will do better. I just don't. I don't think the poetry's that good. I guess I'd rather post vlogs than poetry. Poetry is very overly dramatic, and it like dramatizes your life when you put everything into a poem. It dramatizes everything, whereas in reality, things aren't that dramatic. But you know what? I enjoyed opening up the 40 tabs of poems on my Google Chrome browser. They're all in Google Docs. I opened up 40 tabs of them, and I was like, I was getting ready to record it. I was getting ready to record 40 poems on this webcam, and I was like, I almost did it, and I enjoyed reading all the titles. I enjoyed reading all the titles and remembering what it felt like to write that, and I enjoyed the fact that I wrote it in the first place. I just I'm I don't want to record it right now. Maybe someday I'll want to record them, but they're very just overly dramatic and they're not bad. I don't think they're bad. I just think I mean they're kind of bad, but I think it's healthy to write poetry down and publish some of it and not publish all of it. Like, I already published some poetry on this YouTube channel, and maybe I'll post more in the future. I think it's healthy to think about that stuff, but to actually record it and post it, it's kind of it's kind of like making a mountain out of a molehill, you know? Like, I'm going to tell you how nihilist I am. I'm going to tell you how emotional, how emo I am. Yeah, I can do that on vlogs. The whole rhyming thing, pre-written, pre-written rhyming, it's all right. I kind of overdid it for maybe a year there. Well, for about a year, I was writing a ton of poetry, and I was writing a lot of poetry for a year. Maybe, yeah, it was a year. I was writing a lot of poetry. It's like a whole year, basically, I was doing that. And, I learned some things about myself, but I don't know. Help pass the time. Say that much. If I was ever like needed to pass the time, then I would just write poetry, and I will write more in the future. I don't have to share it, you know. I don't have to share it, and at 40 poems, that's 2 hours of speaking. And I'm not speaking for 2 hours. Well, this is gonna be like a 15-minute video. I'm not reading poetry for 2 hours. That's like a that's like a recording a movie here. I don't have the heart to do that. I don't like my eyes get strained when I try to do too much, and I'm not doing any of that. I have no interest in doing. I mean, it'd be fun. It'd be good for my channel to have more content, but God, that's really too much. That I can't really record that much. Like, I can't really do that. So I think I just wrote them just to write them. I was gonna record them eventually, but I've had so many, and I don't want to record just the best ones, because who's to say what's the best ones? They all mean something to me. I wrote them all during, important parts of my life, and I. It just hurts. It just hurts. It hurts. It hurts trying to do that. It hurts trying to physically do that, and it hurts thinking about just writing it in the first place. And there's like 40 poems, and so I wrote it over. Well, those are written over like 6 months. It was from January, or from the end of December through May. I think I wrote those. I was just trying to process my emotion, as I always do. And I learned how to rhyme better. I learned more about rhyming, which is healthy. I can almost predict when a rhyme is going to come in a song, because I practice rhyming so much. Now I know a lot of the rhymes in my head of what you can do with rhymes, and I understand the art of music, and I understand the art of poetry more because I wrote all those poems, and I understand how special some rhymes are. I understand how creative some are, and I understand like the rhythm that it takes to make a good song. Not that I know how to make a good song, but I understand a little more about the process because I wrote those. And it wasn't a waste of time either. It wasn't a waste of time because I learned so much about myself. But now I'm just doing vlogs instead of I know I'm learning myself through vlogs instead of that, so. And I can share it more easily. And so the big thing on YouTube now is people are making longer pieces of content. Like, I see people making 1-2 hour pieces of content, Whereas maybe 15 years ago, everyone just made like 45-second videos, a minute and a half videos. I mean, the biggest YouTubers are making longer videos. Like the most popular people, like Philosophy Tube, ContraPoints. There's this girl, Lola Sebastian. She makes like 2-hour videos. That's kind of where this is going. I think YouTube is going to have longer videos. I think TikTok is going to have shorter videos. I think TikTok is going to own the short video uh, area, whereas YouTube is going to have longer videos. And the thing is, you can make these whatever you want. If I want to talk for 20 minutes, I'll talk for 20 minutes. Maybe nobody will watch, you know, maybe nobody will watch, but honestly, I view this as therapy. I just view this as therapy, and I have had people watch a whole of my 10-minute videos, and you want to know something? If I can find someone that'll watch a 10-minute video, then I'm pretty sure I can find someone that would watch a 20-minute video. I think it's just harder. One of the things I learned about life is it's hard to find special people in your life. It's hard to find people that make real connections with you. But just because that's hard, it doesn't mean it's impossible. And I think you should have high goals, and you shouldn't give up on love. And I think you should have big dreams. And this might be moronic to make 20-minute videos when nobody would want to watch that, but that's what I'm interested in right now. Honestly, I'm really lonely. I don't have a ton of places to socialize. I've got some places to socialize, but I don't have a ton. And this is honestly the best I can do, is YouTube. This is the best I can do. And these videos aren't going to be highly edited. They're not going to be highly produced because I'm not good enough at that technology to do that. But I am confident enough in my persona that I can record this stuff on here and put it out to the world and be the realest me I can be. And that's what I want to right now. That's what I want to right now. That's who I want to be right now. You know, you don't have to be someone you're not. I'm not a poet. I'm not a musician. I think it's fun to try to be a poet, but some of us aren't cut out for that. Some of us, vlogging is a more realistic proposition. It's a more realistic situation. Because we can do this without becoming all emotional. Because I think when you record a poem, you have to feel it in your heart. And I'm not doing that for 2 hours. I'm not recording 40 poems over 2 hours. I'm not doing that because that would require too much emotion. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to put that much emotion into it. I believe being the realest me I can be is good enough. Might not be that romantic. Might not be that sexy, but it's me. This is me. This is who I am. And I'm putting myself out there, and I'm trying to be as naked as I can be. Naked emotionally, I mean. Trying to be naked emotionally. I'm trying to show everyone who I really am. And that's what I want to do on these vlogs, is show everyone the real me. Now, is that going to be good enough? Probably not. But I don't have to post poetry because I gained something just by writing that stuff. I gained knowledge about vocabulary. I learned a lot of vocabulary. I had to use thesaurus.com a lot, and I had to look a bunch of words up, and I had to think creatively, and that was a healthy experience. I'll probably write more in the future. I don't know if I'm gonna write as much poetry, because if I realize I'm not gonna be sharing it, then I don't think I'm going to be writing it. But then again, I could just write it just to write it. But then again, I'd probably just do something else rather than write poetry to not share it. I'd rather just do something else with my time. But I might do that. I might write poetry not to share it. I like to think of ways I could spend my day that are interactive with people. I like socializing. I like interacting with people. I like going places and seeing people and putting myself out there. But writing poetry all day and posting it here, it's okay. I just think musicians kind of own that market. I think the people writing music are the people who have it most together in the poetry industry. I think if you're willing to put it with a song and make it memorable, if you really want to make something memorable, you have to put instruments behind it, whether that's synthesizers or physical instruments. You have to put instruments into it if you really want to make something memorable. Just rhyming and having the meter or whatever, that's not going to make it memorable. I mean, it is. There are professional poets today. There are people doing that professionally. I don't think it's going to be memorable if I put together, 48 lines of whatever, and it's not really that good. I guess other people have more confidence in their writing, in the sense that they think it's actually, people think they have, like, they write really good stuff. That stuff's fine. I just don't want to share it. I shared it more a year ago because I was emotional a year ago. That's why I shared it back then, because I felt emotional. And I'm still posting. It's still scheduled to post some of the stuff that I recorded a year ago, last December. But I don't think that's the best way to get people to notice me, because I can just do vlogging. I can just do vlogging to get people to notice me. And I could still talk about poetry if I wanted to. I'm watching a documentary about the romantic poets in the early 19th century Britain. It was originally on the BBC, but I'm watching it on YouTube, so maybe I'll talk more about that in the future. I just think I don't have to be a poet. I could be a vlogger, and maybe a vlogger who occasionally rhymes, but I don't really rhyme. But then again, poetry doesn't have to rhyme. I could be a vlogger that has poetic dreams. I do have dreams of poetry, even if I can't really write it myself. I think a vlogger that has romantic visions or whatever, I think that's good enough to satisfy me. And it's fun to fantasize about recording that poetry and finding an audience, but I don't have to do that. That's not necessary, and I'd rather live my life without doing that. I'd rather die tomorrow than spend my entire life without meeting you. What movie is that from? Pocahontas. Pocahontas. I'd rather die tomorrow than spend my entire life without meeting you. It's from Pocahontas. And see, there's a poem right there. It's not really. It's like a two-sentence. It's like a two-line poem. And that's good enough for me. I'd rather just share little snippets of that on these vlogs, rather than make this big ordeal of 40 poems, 50 poems a year, and then post them like 2 a month. And I'm not doing that. That's too much. And I'd like to figure out a way to express my creativity in a healthy way. And I think this is the best way to do that. I think vlogging is the best way for me to express my creativity. And anything else is kind of unnecessary. I think it's unnecessary. Let me know in the comments below. Do you write poetry? Do you ever post poetry on YouTube, or do you share the poetry with anyone? Do you ever write poetry with no intention to share it with anyone? Let me know in the comments below. I've also shared it on Tinder. Tinder's the other place I share poetry. I'll write poetry for people. It's like an absolute crapshoot. It never goes anywhere. Like, the poetry never goes anywhere, but I try it, and I do share it with people on Tinder. I will continue sharing with people on Tinder. I will not stop doing that. It's fun. Let me know in the comments below, what's your relationship with poetry? Let me know in the comments. What else? Please subscribe to this channel, be part of the community. Please like the video. It really helps out the channel a lot. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.